This video is sponsored by... Wait a damn minute. If I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna do it my way. This fucking video by these fucking people is sponsored by motherfucking NextGen. Fight for the cure to save the titties.
Alright everybody, what's going on? This is Riddler with Team Arkham Asylum. And as you probably know, this video is sponsored by NextGen. I will be showing you my Mermail Atlantean build. So, without further ado, here we go. Alright, so first thing we're going to start out with is 3 of this guy, this Megalo. We're going to be using 3 of him. Because, well, if you have enough in your hand, easy ditch, easy summon, easy to do other crazy shit with. Next up, as pretty normal with most, is 3 Abysdiuses. Yes, aren't 2 of them pretty? I need to find a 3rd one. Any takers willing to give me a 3rd? Anyway, moving on. Have 3 Abysslands. Now, normally most Mermail decks don't use Abyssland because her effect is kind of slow, but for me, it works. You can ask any of my teammates how it works for me. It works beyond reasonable doubt, and quite frankly, a lot of belief doesn't believe it. But anyway, it's easy to see rather than explain. Anyway, we all know why Abyssland's in there. Get destroyed, get a special summon a Mermail from your deck. Not your hand, not your graveyard, but your deck. So you get to thin your deck out, as well as the other 2 as well. Moving on, continuing with the Mermail engine, I use 2 Abyss Pikes. Reason for it, again, thinning the deck, easier to get stuff out with. And to go along with the 2 set, we're also going to go ahead and work with 2 of these, 2 Abyss Guns. The Abyss Guns are easier to use because of the fact that, well, in my opinion, they actually help you with deck, not to mention the fact that they end up, they end up special summoning from grave. Continuing with the Mermail engine, I have 1 Abyss Lead. I use the Abyss Lead in combination with the Abyssland and anything else that may happen thereof. I'm also using 1 Mermail Abyssdine. Abyssdine is rather easy in its complexion. The only reason for that is because when it is brought from either deck or graveyard to your hand, it automatically special summons itself. So yeah, easy link fodder. Now, here goes Mermail Abysshild. Now, Abysshild has another unique little ability. When it's sent to the graveyard by any means necessary, by battle, by card effect, or by tribute or whatever, or sending, any way, shape, or form, you get to special summon a Mermail from your hand. So say you got either Abyss Lead or Megalo and you don't have the materials needed, you can just get rid of Abysshild by one way or another, and then it'll be able to special summon the Lead or the Megalo from your hand. Alright, that does it for the Mermails themselves. So, moving on to the Atlantean engine. First thing that we're going to be running is 3 Netipus, the Atlantean Princess. Yes, you need 3, because when you summon it, you can ditch the grave. Everyone knows that, well, when things are sent to the graveyard due to water type effects, they can go off. So, going into that, which is also a good link fodder and all that sort of stuff, so when it's sent to the graveyard through water type effects, it can actually recycle another Atlantean, like special summoning to the field. That's where this guy comes in. 3 Atlantean Dragoons. So, 3, finally, yes, 3 Mermail Atlanteans are back at full power. To a degree. A few other things have to come back, and then yeah, it'll be deadly. Anyway, everybody knows about this guy. When he's sent to the grave due to a water type effect, he gets to bring a sea serpent type monster from your deck to your hand. And that could mean a bunch of things can go off and a bunch of fun things can happen. Moving on, I run 2 Atlantean marksmen. Now, the reason why I run 2 is because nowadays it says set card. That means any set card. Quote me if I'm wrong about that. Or let me know in the comments below or something like that. Either way, it's just easy to pop stuff that's in the face down or in back row or anything like that. It's back row defense basically. And I'm also running 2 of this guy, heavy infantries. Now, heavy infantry does face ups instead of face downs, just like marksman, but you know, easy poke and destroy. Anyway, that'd be it for the Atlanteans. And yes, I know there are some things, I know that's quite regular, but I like how it, and I know it's quite irregular, but I like the way it plays. Moving on. Have one Deep Sea Diva. Everybody knows about Deep Sea Diva because of the fact that when she's summoned, she can special summon another level 3 or lower water or sea summon, I believe, from your deck to your hand. Not to the deck, to the field. Sorry. Confusing sometimes. And of course, 2 Moon and Glaciers. Because yes, I have pulled off 2 Moon and Glaciers before. I have it mainly for fodder or for the fact that I can special summon 2 at once. Either way, it goes well. Now, moving on to the next bit, I have 1. Yes, I have 1. Nightmare Corruptor Ribley. The reason is because I also run the Nightmare engine in here as well. That's the main reason why he's in here. Also because of the fact of his little trick, or her little trick, to where when Ribley goes to your opponent's side of the field, they literally can't do anything but try to link it away. That's if they can. Anyway, moving on to the spells and traps. Now for the spells, I run 3. Now I have been advised against running 3, but it tends to help me out a little more than you think. Of the Abyss Scaled Mizuchi. The reason for that is because if I have 1, it basically protects me from spell cards. Yes, they can psych it out, but if I have more than 1 in my hand, it helps me. So, moving on to the second bit, running 2 of the Call by the Grave. Yes, this will help me out with many a thing in the graveyard, like hand traps or anything else. If they use it early in the game, activate that when they try to activate the other one, and it can't be used at all for the rest of the turn. So, yeah. Moving ahead. 1 Raigeki. Yes, I use Raigeki in my deck, and I only used 1. Of course, 1's only available, so. Anyway, it's just a good board wipe, and it's an easy play. Also good for bait if anything else were to occur, any other hand traps, negate spells, or anything of that nature. And 1 Monster Reborn. Mainly because of the fact that I do have so many monsters, and because they're so useful at times, I can bring them back, or I can choose to bring something back from my opponent's side, or my opponent's grave. Now, moving on to the traps. And there are only 3 traps in here. And they would be the Abyss Sphere. The reason for the Abyss Sphere is because I use it for my own reasons. Most builds don't have that. Most builds don't have most of the cards that I have in here. In fact, they have a whole bunch of other stuff that's quite frankly confuses the crap out of me. Beyond all reasonable doubt, I just go with what I know. I go with what I deem as trustworthy and reliable. Because with the way other decks have it built, yeah, they say it goes off without a hitch, but then there's certain things you gotta think about way too much on. And that's confusing the crap out of me. This little mechanic is quite easy and quite easy to understand. But yeah, activate that, get a special summon a Mermail from your deck. Either in attack or defense position. The only drawback is that if you activate on your turn, then you cannot activate any spell cards for the remainder of that turn and your opponent's turn. That's all for the traps. Now, for the extra deck. The extra deck, I run 1 Boral Savage. Yes, I do run one Boral Savage. I can make it in here. It's a little tricky, but I can make it. And it helps because of the link ability, and it helps because of the link ability with it. Moving on. One Dracosac and one Mermail Hibiscus. And these are the only two exceeds I run in my deck. Only because Hibiscus allows me to negate my opponent's effects, along with anything with higher attack than him, or lower attack than him cannot attack, same thing with level. And with Dracosac, token generation. And the thing about Dracosac is that as long as his tokens remain on the field, he cannot be destroyed. And yes, I have come across people who have tried to play that as it didn't work. I've had judges' rulings saying that it does work, and so therefore their rulings are final. Anyway, moving on to links. I have one link Karibo. I have one Nightmare Mermaid. I have one Reaperdocus. I run two Mistar Boys due to the power up it gives them along with all my water types. I also run, now here comes the Nightmare Engine. I run one Phoenix, Nightmare Phoenix. I run one Nightmare Unicorn. I run one Summon Sorceress. And this next card, a lot of people I don't see a lot play, I don't see a lot of it being played, but I think it may help out relatively sooner or later. But I also run one Topologic Bomber Dragon. And yes, I know Gunblar is banned, so yeah, that was a bit of a downer for me, but oh well, I can deal with it. Bomber Dragon actually helps out in this deck a lot, especially if I end up getting the right hand. Anyway, and on to the last card. I run one YUGIOH. Because of the ability of the draw 4 and discard 3, yeah, that'll help out a lot. Now, moving on to the side. Now, forgive me, I didn't have enough sleeves to sleeve everything, into which I didn't really know how many were in there when I got it. Sometimes sleeves can be kind of difficult. Anyway, I run two Gamma Seals, mainly because of the fact that if anything's bigger on my opponent's side of the field, I can just literally get rid of it and give them a monster from me. So, yeah, a lot of fun there. Run two Summon Limits, just so in case I run across a spam deck or a flood deck, I'll be able to minimize their summons. Granted, it hurts me a little bit in the process, but that's fine. I can get around some of them. Most of the time, other people can't. I run three Join Locks, because you know most of everything around here these days ends up being that, you know, it's either from hand, it's either from deck to hand, or some effects like that. Dueling Lock basically stops all that. One True-Nade. There's only one's available right now. And this may be a bit odd for most of y'all, but I keep it in the side just in case I need it. I run three Sokka's Light, and yes, the reason for it is because of the fact of the draw power and everything else. I can take what I need out and put that in if need be. And for those spell heavy decks, which are definitely going to be coming out soon, so be ready for it, I am running two Curse of Darknesses. And in case anything else were to activate, I also run two red reboots. Camera says to run three, but it won't fit. Anyway, hopefully this deck actually came out to be relatively well, and everything worked out well for it. So, hopefully all of this turned out well, and hopefully y'all will understand why I did the way I did with these, and hopefully the rest of the time will end up being well. So hope you like this deck profile, and hopefully if you have any comments, or suggestions, let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I will hear back from y'all soon. This is the Riddler with Team Arkham Asylum, signing out. Remember, subscribe and join the madness. We're fun over here.